In today's video, we are going to be looking at diagrams that involve a transversal cutting two parallel lines. So what I mean by that is when I have two parallel lines, in this case M and N, we have two lines that are never intersecting. Okay, they are parallel. This is the symbol for parallel, that they never intersect. And a transversal is a line that cuts through and intersects the parallel lines. So probably shown you in other videos or in class where the different names of the angles formed by uh, these diagrams where you have a transversal cutting two parallel lines. But the main area I want to emphasize today is the interior, which is in between the parallel lines. That's called the interior. And the exterior, do this a different color. This is considered the exterior. Which is outside of the parallel line. So that might help you remember the names of the angles we were talking about before, and also locate different areas of the diagram. All right, so I'm going to erase this. So now, figuring out the angle measures in these diagrams. First, you need to know one angle measure in order to figure out any angle measure in these diagrams. That's all you need is one angle measure. And you also need to know the shapes of the angles. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay. Now, we know in this diagram, we have this angle right here is 57 degrees. And in order to find this, I know that these are alternate interior angles. They're both in the inside and they're alternate. And we know alternate interior angles are congruent. They are the same measure. So that means this is also 57 degrees. All right. So that is one way to kind of look at this. Another way you could look at it to figure it out is you see that whenever you have this, which is an acute angle, this is also an acute angle. The acute angles are all going to be congruent in these diagrams. So not just this one, as well as this one are also 57 degrees. So all of these angles are 57 degrees. Now let's take a look at another diagram. All right, this one, I have my 49, which is acute. The X is obtuse. Now, we know all the acute angles are the same. That means this and this are the same. That means these are both 49 degrees. So to figure out the other one, I know it forms a linear, look at this, it forms a line, a linear pair with this one. So I would have to do, here's my line to make it look better. All right, so what would I have to do is I would have to do 180 minus 49, which is 131 degrees. So that is the measure of angle X. Now, a shortcut you could do, you know this is acute and this is obtuse. You know they're not going to be the same. So automatically, you don't have to figure out this corresponding angle. Just do 180 minus 49 equals 131. That's all you need to do. All right. So again, an acute angle is never going to be congruent to an obtuse angle. Let's look at another one. Okay. We got acute here. This one's obtuse. So they are not going to be equal. So in order to figure out the acute, you do 180 minus 138. And that is 22 degrees. That's a bad degree symbol. There we go. A lot better. Did I make that mistake? No. Well, 180 minus, or 180 minus 138 is 42. I'm sorry, not 22. It is 42. I was like, wait a second, that doesn't make sense. All right. And again, you could double check in the calculator. 138 plus 42. 138 plus 42. Good. 180. All right. I'm just freaking myself out here. All right. Here we go. Next one. We got an acute angle there and another acute angle. And these are corresponding. They're in the same location of the intersections, right? This is the bottom right. So they're both acute. They're both the same angle measure. They're both 22 degrees or 20 degrees. All right. So you don't have to do many calculations with that. You just know this is 20 degrees. Another way you could look at it is also it slides. This angle slides down the transversal to the bottom right. Okay. All right. Ooh, this one we're solving for x. So again, we look at the angle measures. We know this one is obtuse and this one is obtuse. So we know they're going to be the same. They're going to be equal. So in order to set up our equation, we just set them equal to each other. 5x minus 5 equals 6x minus 27. Set my line down the equal sign. I'm going to minus 5x from both sides. And I get negative 5 is 1x minus 27. I didn't have to write the 1 there, but I'm just doing that. Add 27 to both sides. And we get, my answer is 22. That's my x. Now, if I wanted to find the angle measure, you would plug them back in. But I think this is saying solve for x. Another way to check yourself, though, if you're right, you just plug in 5 times 22 minus 5. 5 times 22 minus 5. That's 105. All right. And what's the other one? 6 times 22 minus 27. 6 times 22 minus 27. And that is also 105. Look at that. They're the same. All right. So this is just asking for x, though. If they want an angle measure, you could tell that. All right. Let's do one more. Over here. Notice this one is acute. This one is obtuse. So when they're not the same, we add them to 180. So you have 2x minus 26 plus 7x plus 8 equals 180. Line down the equal sign, combine like terms. 2x, 7x is 9x. Negative 26 plus 8 is negative 18. Yep, 18 plus 8. Yep. Equals 180. Add 18 to both sides. So we get 9x is 198. Divide both sides by 9. And I get my x is 198 divided by 9. I think it's 22. Let's see. 198 divided by 9. It is 22. And again, you want to check, plug them back in. Plug this back in. 2 times 22 minus 26. 2 times 22 minus 26 is 18. All right. And the other one, 7 times 22 plus 8. 7 times 22 plus 8. And you know they're not equal. They are not congruent. They are supplementary. These were supposed to be congruent. These are supplementary. These add up to 180. Look at that. So that means our answer is correct. All right, so that's it for today's video. Again, make sure you know the angle types before making your equations or figuring out the others in the diagram. So always remember, whether you're solving for X or Y, always give math a try.